Okay, this is the computer I'm going to be putting a new hard drive into. I purchased a Western Digital 500 gigabyte SATA hard drive. If I can get up here and see it better. I've already taken the side panel off. See if I can get over here. I don't want to damage it. I don't have my tripod. My husband lost it. And now I have no idea where it is. Okay. This is what it looks like on the side. And I was told I have to take both sides off because I will be plugging it in on the back. And it's going to be, this little cable is the power cable. It's an L-shape connector. And that one will be going into the power. Like the one up there, there's another one right there, and that's a SATA, a blue SATA. I don't know what the deal is with that one, but it's at an angle. The SATA plug I've got is just a gray. They said anything would work as long as it's SATA. Let me find it. Here it is. Okay. This is the little gray SATA cable that I purchased. It was $5 at the computer store. Mike was the one that talked to me, and Danny was there. Anyway, that will be used since this thing did not have any SATA cables on the inside that were free. I'm going to go ahead and lay this down for a second and see if I can get it to show what I'm doing. I don't, like I said, I don't have my tripod. My husband lost it. So I'm in a loss right now because I'm used to having it. You got to be very careful not to bump anything. This thing has 3 fans in it. It's an AMD. It has 8 gigabytes of memory and is upgradable up to 32 gigabytes of memory. But when I got it, my Adobe Premiere will not work with just one drive, so I'm having to install a second drive, and it's already got a terabyte. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Now the screws that I had to take off are like this. They're just a little square looking, I guess a Phillips, I'm not sure what it's called, but of course you always remember to unplug it and discharge it before attempting to mess with it. I just went ahead and took all the things, the connectors, what do you call it, the keyboard and everything off of it and unplugged it, and then I pushed the power button for a few seconds to make sure there was no more power remaining in it. And let's see, is it still going? Like I said, I wish I had my tripod because I'm not getting a very good picture here. Alright, then you simply, this has teeth, so you slide it and then lift it out. And it's a pain to get back in because these little teeth here, and I don't know if you can see that, have to go in. See if I can get it. Okay, there's little slits in the side there. And the door has those little teeth that it has to go back in with the teeth and then slide in. So you have to line it up. And this is connected to the fan, so unless I take the fan off, I have to just keep it by it. Now this is the slot. I want to get a good close-up and then a good view of the inside of my computer, what it came with. This was $730. It came with the reinstallation discs. Windows 8.1 is what it came with. I'm used to XP. It has a fan there and a fan there, and I believe there's another fan in the front through that grid. So it's got 3 fans. It's quiet. It's pretty impressive. It does seem to be pretty quick, and it's only got 8 gigabytes, which is a lot compared to what I'm used to. But I can only imagine what 32 gigs would do, and I imagine my Premiere will love it if it works with it. If not, I'll be going to Vegas, I suppose. But I am lucky that my Photoshop and my Audition is working with it. And again, I was a licensed user, so I was given a CS2 download that was for people that could no longer activate their product because of them deactivating the activation on it, if that makes any sense. So I was given a license key to use it, and so that's the only reason I'm able to use it. And I'm very upset though because I paid $1,600 for this product. It's worth $3,000 with all the programs, but I'm not able to use it you know, I mean, I am using it now, but if it doesn't work, I won't be able to use it. But it's very, very expensive. You have to pay $600 a year just to rent it now. And they don't just let you buy it like I did before. They're so worried somebody will steal it, I guess. But they're just so careful with everything that it would be hard to do anyway. And this is the drive I purchased. It's a Western Digital 500 gigabyte. It's brand new. It says Green Power. It's in a protective static free bag to keep it from getting an electrical charge to it. So you have to be very careful. As I say, always touch the sides of something metal before touching anything in there or the product so that you don't short it out. These are 2 skis that I'm supposed to put on the side. The package came with a whole bunch of different sized ones, I guess, or at least a bunch of them that were, appears to be 2 or 3 sizes in here. It said to use the longest one for the, mine is a 3.5 inch. It's a 3.0 SATA. And it's a 3.5 inch drive, 500 gigabyte or a half a terabyte. And these are supposed to snap in. Now I'm judging by the one that's already in there. The skis look to be pointed outward. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yes. And it looks like the silver part is going up and the plug-in part's on the other side. So that's how I'm going to attach this one. Okay, as you can see, I'm holding a ski partially attached. It just snaps in. It doesn't screw. And I'm trying to do this with one hand. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to attach them to both sides because that's the way the one in the computer is with the rockers pointed out, the rocker bottoms. And there's a little side mounting bracket there. So I'm going to do this one the same way. And it's going to go in this way, like that one is, with the pin connectors facing outward because he said I'd have to take the back off to get it connected on the other side. So that's how I'm putting it in. And this is what it looks like on the underside. There's a little computer chip looking board and that's where the pins go. And cool, it appears they don't have any cable jumpers set on it. He said they didn't use them anymore, thank God. Because I wouldn't know what I was doing anymore with that. It's been a while. And okay, so I'm going to put it in just a second. Okay, now I've got this rested on my computer door laying down. I hope it'll work. Okay, I'm going to try to get this baby in as carefully as possible. I'm holding in on this so it won't slide. There's my, that looks to be the power connector right here, so I need to make sure that's where I can get to it. I don't want anything hitting on any chips like the bottom one that's already sitting up there. It looks like there's 2 of them. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one alone. It did say you could put another one in that was a 2.5 down here. See, this is a 3.5 that's going to go here. And they said you still had room for a 2.5. You'd have to be very careful because, as you see, you've got these chips exposed. So when you're pulling these parts out, I'm sure you don't want to bump anything on it. And I'm praying I get this thing in right. Now there's the little, okay, I see the sliders. They have little grooves in here. There we go. They're going to ride in. Pop! I did it. Bang. Okay, now I have it in there. Now I just have to go around and hook it up on the back and put my little SATA cable. Now here are the SATA cables that I had that came with it. One of them is going into the burner, which is a multifunctional CD DVD burner rewrite, plus minus rewrite. It'll do all kinds of discs, and it goes into a couple of those ports there. It's odd, that one's straight though. It's not bent like the one on the back, but anyway. There are 2 empty SATA slots on top of the 2 blue ones, and there's 2 more on the side back here that go right there. So I'm assuming, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the top one there or that one, but I don't think it matters. There's still SATA connectors, and see they have the L-shaped slots. See how there's it's like a little short L? And that's what the connectors have, so you have to make sure that they're plugged in right. And then there's the big blue power plug-in, which runs into, I want to say the fan, but they told me to use the the multicolored wires that plug into that wider size, which is the power. So I'm going to be connecting the one that goes to here. From here is the power, and it's like a bigger, wider looking L-shaped connector. I just have to turn this thing around now. Okay, so now I have it turned around. I went ahead and I put the door back on the other side so that I could go and attach it. Since the fan is attached to the door, I didn't want to unplug it. Here's where my drive is now. My fingers are touching the new drive that I have not hooked up yet. It's installed in the rockers, and it snapped in, or it didn't exactly snap. It just kind of sort of snapped in carefully. It's in place right, and it looks like this thing's in the way. I hope it doesn't get in the way. I may have to unplug it just to plug the other one in, but this is where I'm supposed to plug my SATA connector, and I'm looking at it. I don't like that blue cord in the way, though. Like I said, I may have to temporarily unplug it to plug this in. But all I have, actually these two places are where it will go. So I'm probably going to have to unplug this one, and I hope it goes back easily. At least there's only one way it can go. If it'll come out, I don't want to hurt it. So here, I went ahead and connected these. I had to take this one off first because I couldn't get to this one. And I'm going to have to take the other side panel off again because, as I should have realized, once I connected this in, I did not have it hooked to the board yet. So I'm going to have to take the other side off again. But it was better to do that than having the fan, lug around with it. Okay, so now I've taken the front off again, the side, I want to say, the pretty green fan side. And I've checked the wiring. I had to route it through there because the door wasn't wanting to shut with that blue cord sticking out back there. And there's my SATA cable that I plugged in here. I'm hoping this is there's like an empty port there. I didn't use the side ports. The computer man said either one would work, so I'm sure it will. Now all that's left to do is put the door back on, plug it in, fire it up, and open either Device Manager or Task Manager. And I need to decide whether to call tech support first or just do what the other guy said, just to format it. And one guy said I needed to partition it, so I'm really not sure. He said I was going to just make one large partition, so I don't know. The computer guy said even if you format it, you can redo it. It's a brand new drive.